Welcome to Fifth Dimensional Life Mass Human Awakening. I'm Lise, your host. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to be talking about free plasmic energy or free energy, ether, whatever you want to call it. There's quite a few different names. I'm going to go over a few different things about it and what is to come with full disclosure and the people's full disclosure movement more so. I'm going to talk about Dr. Greer and also Nikola Tesla too. So thank you for being here and for holding space. Please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. So let's dive into this. Nikola Tesla is a Croatian-born, brilliant man. I actually lived in Croatia for a while, and I was in places where he had lived, which was super amazing. There's a lot of really interesting conspiracies and things and potential reasons why his mind was so much further advanced. Some people say he's a Venusian, that he was actually born in Venus and came and was like dropped off here on Earth. I don't know totally if that really resonates from within me. There's other ones that states that he actually had a notebook beside his bed, and he, throughout his dreams every night, he would find out all of this highly advanced information and technology, and then he would write, as soon as he woke up, he would write everything down in his journal, or sometimes he would wake up and there'd be tons of pages of information already written in his journal when he was either, in a totally different state of mind. So that's how a lot of his inventions and his ideas came to him. That was divinely guided. He was in the right state, brainwave state, and was able to really channel and harness that information. So when he came over to America, he actually worked with Thomas Edison, who he's the inventor of electricity, as many people know. Here, this picture shows Thomas Edison. He's a wealthy businessman who created a way to charge money for electricity and the methods to control energy resources. So his was direct current, I believe, and then Nikola Tesla's was alternating current. So Nikola Tesla was able to actually find ways to harness free energy or plasma, etheric energy that, and I don't mean monetarily free. It's not like you don't have to get any money from it. I mean, when it's coming from the plasmic etheric field, energetic field, it is so unlimited, so unbounded that you can freely get tons, unlimited amounts of energy from that realm, from that type of energy. And that's why it's called free energy. It's not, again, it's not a monetary money thing like a lot of people say, who say that Nikola Tesla was not so great or his inventions are not so great. People who are really bought into and programmed by systems that are really charging people for energy, whereas, we shouldn't have ever paid for energy. This whole system is extremely corrupt, just like the big banking, big pharma, big tech, all of those illegal oligopolies that are controlling and enslaving our planet right now. So anyways, there's a really funny and actually kind of quite thorough drunk history episode of Nikola Tesla and Thomas Edison. It's well worth a watch and a laugh. It's really good. There's tons of information that you can actually find out from Tesla now. So many of his inventions and technologies, his ideas, were taken over by the CIA and FBI and used against us, or used just, that information was suppressed for so long. And now it's coming out more prevalently. This is part of the disclosure movement as well. So more on just free energy in general. This is not a secret cover-up topic anymore. It's completely out there. If you want to find out how to create a free energy device, you can do it. There's tons of them on Pinterest, surprisingly enough. I found this is a manual of free energy devices and systems. They have, full videos and full manuals and things on how to actually like build your own systems, and there's many different types of them. So yeah, it's not a secret anymore. People can't deny that this doesn't exist. So when you talk about free energy, it's really plasma. And this was more so in the last, I don't know, decade or however long, that plasma became one of the fundamental states of matter. So like liquid, solid, gas, plasma was added on. There's actually 2 other states of matter beyond that as well that I actually recently learned about. I don't have the picture in front of me, but I'm sure it is possible for you to find it. So this is what gets harnessed with free energy devices and ET crafts. This is one of the ways that they're able to power them without rocket fuel or huge engines and tons of carbon gas, pollutants, all of that. We don't actually need it. We don't need that when we could be using this type of energy. We don't need power plants. We don't need the oil and gas industry. We have so many different ways that we can actually create non-pollutant methods for travel and transport. However, big oil and gas oligopolies, energy company oligopolies, they don't want that to happen, because then they would go broke. They would go belly up. They wouldn't be able to survive anymore. And yeah, people would lose jobs from that. But hey, we would have a way of getting free energy that's clean, that's actually really clean. Again, there's tons of information on this. I want to move on to Dr. Greer. This is on SiriusDisclosure.com, and on his blog here. This is from March 2001. Like this information's been out for so long. For most people, the question of whether or not we are alone in the universe is mere philosophical musing. Something of academic interest, but of no practical importance. Even evidence that we are currently being visited by non-human advanced life forms seems to many to be an irrelevancy in the world of global warming, crushing poverty, and the threat of war. In the face of real challenges to the long-term human future, the question of UFOs, extraterrestrials, and secret government projects is mere sideshow, right? Is a mere sideshow, right? Absolutely wrong. Catastrophically wrong. The evidence and testimony presented in the following pages establishes the following: that we are indeed being visited by advanced extraterrestrial civilizations and have been for some time. And we have been forever. They've been here longer than we have on this planet. That this is the most classified, compartmentalized or compartmented program within the US and many other countries. That those projects have, as warned in 1961 by President Eisenhower, escaped legal oversight and the control in the US, UK, and elsewhere. There's $3 trillion that just goes completely unaccounted for in the US. And it's probably even more now. But $3 trillion is so much money, so much money. And it's going into these secret government compartmentalized programs, the secret space program. There's endless programs that they've done over the last like 80 years, including the treaties with gray aliens, the gray human hybrid programs, human trafficking on the world, inside the world, off planet as well. That advanced spacecrafts of extraterrestrial origin called extraterrestrial vehicles, ETVs, by some intelligence agencies have been downed, retrieved, studied since at least the 1940s, the Roswell crash, and possibly even as early as the 1930s. And it's even earlier than that, whereas the Nazis actually had made contact long before that too, and were developing technology around then too. Like the Nazi bell, you can look that up too. That significant technological breakthrough in energy generation and propulsion have resulted from the study of these objects and from related human innovations dating as far back as the time of Nikola Tesla. And these technologies utilize a new physics, not requiring the burning of fossil fuels or ionizing radiation to generate vast amounts of energy. That classified the above top secret projects possesses fully operational anti-gravity propulsion devices and new energy generation systems that, if declassified and put to peaceful uses, would empower a new human civilization without want, poverty, or environmental damage. Doesn't that sound great? Doesn't that sound wonderful? Who does not want that? If someone wants like poverty and environmental damage, they're really just after money and control. So here it discusses more about energy generation, anti-gravity. So let's see here. We have identified insiders and scientists who can prove in open congressional hearings that we do in fact possess classified energy generation and anti-gravity propulsion systems capable of completely and permanently replacing all forms of currently used energy generation and transportation systems. This is so huge. We don't need any of the climate change BS. We don't need any of those huge wind fan things that end up causing so much more environmental damage, killing animals, so much environmental waste. Even solar panels, like to harvest the different types of things that you need, it's feeding into the human slave trade system in Africa. There's so many implications on this, why it's been suppressed over so many years, why it's kept humanity enslaved into this like disgusting, gross, polluted money system is absolutely beyond sickening. Instead of people getting mad at climate change and billionaires trying to solve the world's problems while they're making so much money from oil and gas and big pharma, big tech, big banks, everyone should be focused on this, replacing all forms of currently used energy generation and transportation systems to free energy, anti-gravity. Could you imagine, going to the moon in 20 minutes using a free energy anti-gravity craft? That wouldn't give you any major side effects or anything like that. Imagine, being able to be in an anti-gravity hover pod and being able to travel to your destination, say across the city within a few seconds or a few minutes. The travel and transportation could be way more faster, way more safer, and completely clean energy. It would have no environmental impact. It would, save so much more time and headache. I've traveled extensively all throughout the world, and man, I've spent, I don't know, probably a whole month if you add it all up on a plane, like even flying over to Asia, I think it was like a what 22 hour or 23-hour flights in total. And even each of those flights like causes so much, it's a huge environmental impact. Jet fuel is highly toxic. I could go on and on and on forever about how wrong humanity has it right now and how corrupt all the systems that we have. And what's going on in the world right now is this huge renaissance of consciousness awareness of how corrupt systems are, and everything's bubbling up to the surface so we can actually realize it and create positive change that we want to see in the world. And it's becoming very difficult to create that change because the systems run so deep, people are so heavily programmed, and there's so much money, extortion, blackmail involved in these. They run so deep, there's so many layers and levels, and it's like we have to peel off and unravel each of these systems bit by bit. And the best thing that each of us can do is learn and study as much as you can. Open your mind, open your consciousness, start talking to people about these things, and get involved in businesses that are really making a positive change in the world towards these things. Quantum Future Technologies, the sponsor on this channel, they are creating garbage regeneration, first generation replicators, as well as they are prototyping anti-gravity crafts, mainly autonomous hover pods. So they will be like driverless Ubers that you can, call on from your phone. It'll be like this little hover pod that opens up. You can sit down, go inside, sit down, relax, and it'll take you to your destination in like a fraction of the time for clean energy. Now, it's not going to be right away that they release those technologies. It's still in a development stage. However, with more people getting in on this stuff, talking about it, the faster it can come to us. And we'll truly be able to heal ourselves and heal our planet and just have a better life. Like, more people should be able to travel and get to experience this incredible planet that we live on, and all the other planets and other galaxies out there as well. So, this goes on and on and on. I'll put the link to this. It is very thorough. It explains so much around all of these topics. And, this is from 2001. Dr. Greer has been doing this for quite a few decades now. He also does CE5. He has a CE5 contact app. I have another video about him as well. I run a CE5 group in my city where I'm located, and his documentaries, his papers, all of that are absolutely amazing. And he's such an important guiding light in this world and for human ascension. So I hope you learned a whole bunch of different things, and it really sparked the light inside of you so you can be the positive change that we need in this world. We need as many people as possible moving our consciousness and our civilization forward. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you on the next video.